All right, today is going to be different than what I originally had planned. You hear that wind? Yeah. Whoa. I'm getting the tree line a little bit. So we were going to go hike a small mountain over there, but it's 36 degrees, feels like 25 with the wind, probably closer to 20. It's gusting. And it'll make it impossible for me to film if I was to hike up on that peak. So we are just going to do some exploring down here. It's New England, so obviously the woods hold many layers of history and time of people doing things. Where we're starting, there's a cellar hole right up there, occupied into the late 1800s, and this is a big square block of old roads. It's about a mile across. Last year we tried to come in from the other side, and we did. It was just, I think it was late summer, so it was really overgrown. That's why I'm here today, just to go see what's out there. So let's go see what's out there. Start out with some railroad ties, and we are absolutely nowhere near any railroads. Somebody probably used them in their yard for a while and then decided to just dump them. And, logged as usual. I think what we just parked on was a logger's landing. The usual. So, obviously today we're not out looking for anything specific. Just a curiosity explore. That's always on the agenda anyways, but it's just awesome walking through these old farms. Some old trees, old rock walls. And a lot of history. And even with the amount of ground that I cover, you know, it's easy for me to say there's so many places that I have just not been out back, you know. Lots of unknown out here. In pretty rough shape. Oh. I've actually seen a few snowflakes, if you can believe it, for this time of the year. I mean, it is well beyond the beginning of spring. Next week we'll probably be in t-shirts and sweating. Hopefully. So, as I was saying in the beginning, the old roads basically create a block, a big square that's about a mile across, at least east to west. And all the farms on the roads kind of connected down in here. And there's just a lot of the space that I have not actually walked through. Right now it's just looking like, you know, back pasture. Yeah, we did cross some walls, but it's definitely not improved. It may have been 200 years ago. I mean, although I said the house up there was occupied late 1800s, this area was settled mid 1700s, so well over 250 years ago. This was all cleared and farmed. Wow. It's getting wet. I'm gonna have to veer. Okay. Interesting observation. So, wall comes down, corners off, and immediately it's different. See all the little pines growing back? Pretty flat. This was improved land, so somebody was growing things out here compared to step over the wall, go back out there where we just were, and it's just different. So that's just a basic observation for those of you who do things like this. Yeah, it's like a whoa change. We got some more wall. Smaller rocks. Also definitely a sign of plowing, ground cleaning. That looks like scarring from barbed wire. Might be, might not be. But it's not uncommon to, you know, you can drive down the road up there, and when you look in, you're like, this doesn't look like good land. But back in those days, they would have went out, you know, 50 acres out back, if it was better, and done their planting out there. Or somebody else could have been living out here in the middle of it all. That happens too. Those are the things we really look for. All right. Yuck. Yuck. I gotta go that way. All right. Wow. Completely unlodged and lifted from when the tree fell. Guess that counterpoise weight did nothing for the tree. Wild. Holy mackerel. Now that is a sign of clearing land. Big time. If you can see that way down there, I'm pretty far off. Sticking out like a sore thumb. Holy mackerel. Film is not going to do this pile justice, but it's just about 6 feet tall. And it is massive. Wow. I'd say it's 45 feet one way and probably 50 feet the other way. And between 4 and 6 feet deep of rocks. Anybody who's ever cleared rocks, moved rocks, stacked rocks, can imagine how much work this was. When you give up on building your walls out there and you just start piling it at the bottom like this. If I had to move this, it would probably take me years. It probably did take years. Oh, and look at that. I'd love that for my wall at home, but that's where it belongs. So that's insane. That's one of the largest piles of fieldstone rocks I've seen. and a clear indication that it all came from up there. So they dug them out, dragged them down, piled them up. I know this is the end, at least immediately for this area, because it's all wetland back there. Think about that. Rock for rock. Probably quite a few oxen shoes from pulling the rock boats down the sleds in the ground here. Probably buttons and fingernails and anything else that would have been ripped off and crushed while moving them. Anyways, let's head up that hill. It's a good wall up there. Oof. So yeah, up here, the result of doing all that work. It's flat, angled flat, but it's clean. Wow. Silver glass, like mid-1900s stuff. It's getting a bit more lumpy. Is what I'm doing is I'm heading back. I did the big loop. Just heading back towards where the cellar is. Wow. So we'll end the tour here at the cellar. This is a big one, big chimney, center chimney stack. That was 15 minutes from the rock pile back here. So figure that as well as to how far out they would work their property. Crazy. What's crazy is I'm wearing gloves and a beanie. Whew. So that's it. I'm getting out of here. Gonna go get some coffee, get warm. And you guys, I'll see you soon.